No, this is not required. Not in the least. But you know what? This is also a hobby, so hobbyists do dumb things just to do them. A little quick walk around the shop here. We have over here our camper jacks came in. We have our vent that came in. What else? What else came in? Gasket material. More hardware. The last two piano hinges. So, what's on the docket for today? What's going on today as everyone looks at my awesome Duluth vest? Okay, so I've got to drop this down, figure out at an elevation, then brace it with something so I can get good hard dimensions to make my front. Then I gotta do the same over here for the rear. So, as I point you guys out to the nowhere, how am I going to do this? First things first, I got to move these boxes out of the way so if I strike a spark, I don't want a fire. I'm going to undo the clamp from the back side, undo this clamp, bring it down gently, and then clamp it in position. Man, this thing is so big, it's like you can't get a good angle. I'm going to put you guys back here. Maybe you can see better. A little bit better. So yeah, this thing, fortunately and unfortunately, takes the whole garage. My 12-foot piano hinges work, as you can see. Just set that down. I do the same thing on that side, and I got to figure out elevation. So I think I'm going to do is take a piece of square tube, clamp them together so they actually pivot stop at each other. That'll basically turn into one solid beam. And I'll do it, not at the very end, but on the second beam in on each side. Setting that down. I gotta span roughly my arm's length, so I want to go farther in that because I want these two to clamp to each other, and I'll put it at the right elevation. That'll let me start mocking up other things that matter. I don't want to have it rest like this because realistically will be a bed there, so on the ends I'll have stops to keep it at the right elevation when it's in transit. I was going to use this for something else, but oh well. Yeah, I think that'll work well. There we are. Okay. So see all that now? It's elevated at the right elevation. I'm going to do the same thing over here and clamp that one in. What I need to do is get my elevation correct. They'll let me set my height, get my hinge on, do the same thing to the back, get that hinge on, raise it back up, clamp it in the up position, get my heights, and go from there. Just barely. Just barely. So now this is braced. It's not going anywhere. So I'm going to go back to the front, get good measurements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure what this hinge actually does for my offset, and then I got to measure how high I have to go to have a piece basically fold and sit on top of this guy. We measure from here to here. That'll tell me how that offset. Measure from here to the bottom. That tells me how high I need to be. I got to measure from here to here, and I got to measure this distance on both sides. So that'll tell me how high I need to be across the board, essentially. Hopefully 2 inches will work, because that's what I got. Huh. So I need to get a better tape. Better isn't the right tool. So there puts me at. I'm gonna put a piece 2 inch across here and 11/16 down, and I do the same thing on that side. Of all the other talk I'm having to do with X, Y, Z stuff, it doesn't matter. That's what matters. Need to measure that distance across on both those. Cut a piece 2 inch. Mount it in position. Get it all set up right. And go from there. Cable. We gotta go from there to here, which is exactly 75.5, which is what it's supposed to be. Yep. 75 1/8. So somehow I narrowed. I don't like that. I'll measure the midpoint here. Thing. We can see this part. So I'm gonna go from here, outside to outside. See where that's at. $77.5. The bottom is 77.5. Top isn't, so what's happening is the sides are coming in. So I need to make them both 77.5, 7/16. I want this thing to be accurate, mostly because I can. I think I'm going to mill it, just so I get better at milling. I want to get really proficient at milling before I have to make a part that has to be milled. So I got to go 11/16 down, 1 inch over. That's my criteria. No, this is not required. Not in the least. But you know what? This is also a hobby, so hobbyists do dumb things just to do them. So I'm not too worried about being perfectly exact on the 1 inch. What I'm really worried about is being exact in the height. I can really well set that height on this guy and make sure that doesn't get screwed up. I'm trying to get this over so I have everything clear on the side. So I think this guy's set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk this guy out to the edge, put on my earmuffs because it's going to get loud. Just got one more snuggin'. I'm going to now go mark this. It's not rocket science here. I'm just going to mark my inch because it's not super duper critical. It's not uncritical, but you know. Realistically, after this first one, I might just take the bandsaw to it and like this. That took way too long for not much return. Damn it! I bought the machine. I gotta validate it. Home gamers, earmuffs. That's a lot faster. And I'm going to try to cram something that's basically an eighth short because it's measuring 1/8. I got almost a quarter short. Gotta cram this boy. Huh. Okay. I wonder if the C-clamps are kind of doing that to me. Because if they're clamped, they're not letting it move. So let me loosen up one. A little bit. Only enough to make a difference in the grand scheme of things. So I'm going to pry bar, peel that back. Ah, it fit. It worked. Cool. It's a lot easier getting out of this thing when it's 4 feet in the air. I did not count that, so we're 1 inch over, so we have to go 7 inches from the end, and then 7 inches, and then 16 inches from then on both sides. Originally it has 1 by. I'm going to make it 2 by because 2 by is giving me more oopsies. So 1 inch, 17. Same thing over here. These dimensions won't match at all anymore because I've doubled this up, and this has actually gone down another 2 inches. We're looking currently at the end here, so it's like if this was flipped this way. So the top is actually the bottom, just to add to confusion for people. But that's, I engineered it. So what's going to be nice is I have this shelf here. That shelf's going to stick out and catch my my walls there. So if you're wondering where you're looking from, you're actually looking between the members here. So this distance here will probably bow because this top piece has been welded only on one side. So I gotta measure across, and I'll basically force it back up. Eight and 5/8. So I was wrong. 8 and 5/8. 8 and 5/8 crestboard. I gotta get 5 pieces, 8 and 5/8. Luckily, I got a lot of drop right here. So let's go through our scrap bin. So our goal is not to waste material because, well, material's expensive. Yeah, I know, like a foot of it is like $2, but I've bought in hundreds of feet. Here we are. Point it down a little bit. Okay, so 1 by, not going to use those. Not yet, at least. This looks promising. I said 8 and 5/8. That's 9 and 3/4. That's good. 10 and 1/4. That's good. This one's gonna be good too. Almost 11. Ooh, just under 8. We're at 4 pieces. I need 2 more. 2 more to finish this wall out. 10. 10. So I need to clean those up. Six and a half. 15 and a half. 13/16. So now I'm going to see if I'm moving close to right by going over here. Holy shit. I did it. Okay, cool. I don't know how this lit up. I think aluminum hit some iron filings. That was some sort of like, wow, that white phosphorus action going on there. Anyway. Yeah, that's a good solid couple hours of work. I think I'm done for the night. That's welded in. Front is donezo. I gotta do the back. I'll probably do the back tomorrow. Drill and tap my hinge. I want to place a piece of square tube on here and actually make the full hinge out. Get my dimensions, build the wall, then go back, put it on. That's my best bet. Only safe way of doing it. There's so many minor things going, like 75 and a half on that side, 75 and 3/8 on 1 1/8. So I lost a quarter inch somewhere. So stuff like that. I just gotta keep on the ball with.